You guys probably saw this. Guile Winquote tweet was on the timeline over the weekend. Hunter x Hunter is a 7-button game. So any stick layout feels bad, but I must accept that fighters aren't 6-button games anymore and that arcade stick hasn't been the standard for years and the world I learned how to Hadouken in doesn't exist anymore. Hashtag netted up. A lot of people were saying, isn't there 8 attack buttons? Like this is the 8th button, right? 4 on top, 4 on the bottom. The thing is that really only buttons 1, 2, and 3 are comfortable to hit on the top and bottom row. I think the next easiest is the pinky here. But that's why controllers have these extra buttons now, right? So this is the Victrix lever list. I have this extra thumb button and there's like slots you can see for like a button here and there and like other places. In general, there's like 6 buttons on the controller that are easy to reach if you play on leverless or stick. So if I use 8 buttons in a game, I use the top 4, bottom 3, and then the extra thumb button here. This button over here is like really out of the way. It's not a natural feeling button to hit. This is the thing about a game not having motion inputs. This is just how they work. Like think about Hunter x Hunter if there was no special move button and they had motion inputs. You have light and medium and heavy that you can assign special moves to because you can do quarter circle light or medium or heavy or quarter circle back light or medium or heavy. And you don't need that special move button. As Hunter x Hunter is right now, there's light and medium and heavy. You have the Nen button, which is a push block. So you hold it and like if somebody attacks you, it pushes them away. And if you're in the middle of attacking, the neutral version is like a stagger on standing hit. So you can combo after, they just go like, and then you can like hit another heavy or whatever, right? You have a lot of hits done. If they're airborne, it kicks them and it like wall bounces them. If you hold down and hit N, it launches them into the air. So those are like the 4 attack buttons, right? Although one of them is kind of like a defensive button as well. Then there's assist 1 and 2. So that's 6 total buttons. And then the 7th button is special move. And yeah, modern is also very button heavy in Street Fighter as well. The other example I think is 2XKO, which has like a similar button situation, right? For me, for 2XKO, I play 6 buttons and then I also use the dash macro. Light, medium, heavy, dash macro on my pinky. Hitting this, the dash is like really easy and I still have access to like all of my attack buttons. And then bottom row is for me, special 1, special 2, tag. But that being said, I think for a lot of people, it is very unnatural to have there be a necessary button that you have to hit that's a 7 button. You don't need the dash macro for 2XKO. You can play it on 6. If 2XKO didn't have special move buttons, it would be a 4-button fighter. And you would lose 2 entire buttons that you could then macro like a dash macro towards or parry or like whatever other combination you feel comfortable with. And yeah, for Street Fighter even, I have light, medium, heavy, punches and kicks, and then I have a parry macro as well, and a lot of people have a drive impact macro, which is 8. Otherwise, you have to reach your hand over to like another position to hit like a combination of 2 buttons, and that can make you slower. If it's going to take you a few extra frames to react to DI because you have to take your hand and move to hit heavy punch and heavy kick versus like having a macro that you can just hit without moving your hand. Finding an arcade stick layout that's comfortable is pretty difficult once you start to add more than 6 buttons. Where if you have a controller, you have the 2 bumpers and the 4 face buttons, right? Which are really easy to access. So that's 8 buttons that you can hit, no problem. 9 is bad even if you're on controller, right? 7 is already more than most people are comfortable with. 8 is a lot. I mean, personally, I got used to the Hunter x Hunter layout pretty fast. I find it a lot less comfortable than 2XKO because these 6 main buttons are like really easy to map. And the dash macro is like extra. Whereas Hunter x Hunter is like 7 by default. I think it's like probably the most cumbersome layout of any game, but I don't mind it. I'm used to it. This is the nature of how this is anymore. You can't just run around with 6 buttons stapled into an arcade stick and play these games. You need the extra buttons in this day and age. The amount of buttons is just increasing. Inputs required to play the game is expanding. I prefer motion inputs. I would rather have them. I think that they're like a better thing to have most of the time. For me, I like doing them. I think they feel fun. I think if you want to design a game without motion inputs, it's fine. There's just a thing you have to consider when you design a game without motion inputs. The cumbersome nature of the control scheme is like definitely a factor. Do you cut down on attack buttons? Do you cut down on other things? That's just a factor you have to think about when you're balancing a game that is this way. Okay, this is a great comment. Riot, please stop being stubborn. Add motion inputs as an option. I don't necessarily think it's them being stubborn even. This is how they've designed the game from the start, and that's how it is. The game before that, Rising Thunder, did not have it. This is how this game is. I think it's just like their approach to the game. And like personally, I prefer motion inputs, but like if they are gonna not use them, then they're gonna commit and not use them, and it's gonna take up space. Same thing with Granblue. Like when I play Granblue, I don't use motion inputs for most of my stuff. Like if I'm react DPing in neutral, I just use the 1 button DP because like why would I not? That shit takes 1 button button to do the anti-air DP, I'm gonna do it. Okay, a very important comment in the chat. Cloud805 says, no game should have a 1-button reversal. This guy won Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite Battle for the Stones doing down DP plus assist with 0 in MVCI, 0 Dante. If there's anybody who's an expert on having an easy input reversal, it's him. And I agree. I think part of having 1-button special moves, you have to design the power level of them a little bit different, because otherwise they're just obnoxious to deal with. Like, you fight Modern in Street Fighter, right? We've all fought Modern before. There's some things you just know. You know that you can't walk up on them because they just DP you, and they don't have to think. You can't trick them, you can't bait them, you can't like mess with their positioning or empty jump to DP or put them in a spot where they're like too far to DP react because they have to walk, and then walking DP doesn't give them enough time. They have to check your landing instead, and then you could play around that mind game. Like, they just walking DP you thoughtlessly, and they don't even have to like worry about that thing, because that's how powerful having a 1-button anti-air is. They just get to do that. That is like a thing that they can do because it takes them less time. It's boring to fight because you can just sit there and 1-button react to tons of different things. It's very like, you have to play around it cautiously in a frustrating way that makes it completely different than other people you fight. You could 1-button flash kick in the DS version of Street Fighter. You don't even need a charge. That's extra.